Hi there, I'm back. Today we are going to talk only the mobile apps. We have got two mobile apps. One is for supervisor, the other one is for field force engineer. Right now, let's talk about the field force engineer. So this is available in two variants, in Android and iOS. So the field force engineer can download it from the stores, and then he can actually set up the host name and the tenant code, and then the user ID and password. Once he does that, he lands on the application and where the menus are attendance, create maintenance, permit to work. So attendance is nothing but for the punch in, punch out, depending upon the geocode match. Create maintenance is to create the corrective maintenance activities while the person does the standard scheduled maintenance. If he finds any outlier anomalies, he can just create the maintenance in the mobile app and which goes into the system. Permit to work is wherever the permit is required, the engineer can raise the permit to work. This particular permit to work here where actually you can see the status and all those stuff. Um, let's talk about the PM activities without PTW. So here, once the assignment is assigned to the field engineer, he can see it in the mobile app. Either he can reject it or accept it. Once he accepts, he can go to the work order inside the work order, and he would get the work order information and the checklist. So this is where the PTW is not there. um, what he can do, he can just actually does the work. And if you see here, here the media is required, so he needs to load the image. He needs to take the image as part of his expected result, and he need to push the work. As he goes on, the status goes on increasing. Once he finishes, he can actually send it for the validation to the supervisor, and the supervisor in the web app, he validates. If he approves, then the activity is closed. So while when it is closed, he can get actually 100%, and he can in between he can pause it for any sort of dependency, and from the pause he can again restart the activity at any point in time. Now let's talk about the corrective maintenance. This is where he can create the activity. Otherwise, field engineer does not have the ability to create the scheduled maintenance activities. This is all scheduled, planned earlier. Only the corrective maintenance the person can raise at the site. And once he raises, this goes to the system for the schedule, planning, and assignment. Permit to work, this is where the site manager raises with PTW type of activities, and then when the engineer accepts it, so he can see now three parts. One is show asset history. So show asset history shows the any sort of activities work order happened in the past for the same asset. Also any alert event, so that he is aware of the things. Then comes the parts and consumable, where he can select the parts whatever is required to execute the activity, and then he raises a PTW. Until the PTW is approved, he cannot start the work. He cannot see actually the task what where actually he needs to take the action. So this is the PTW where actually he requests the PTW and then fills up the isolation lotto and sends for the approval. This is all actually the part of the screens, different workflow. Then once he does, he sends for the approval, and this approval goes to the web application what I had shown earlier, PTW approval, and the supervisor either he approves or rejects, while he and this is through the mobile app. So once he approves, then the PTW post approval, it comes, the flow comes to the information comes to the mobile app, and the field engineer starts the approval and start the activities. Okay, so you can see the PTW validity, and then the work, this section opens up and he can start the work. Once the work is finishes, the field engineer needs to return the PTW, and that's where the valid PTW, here there is a return option. Once he does that, again he goes to the process. He ensures that the isolation is lifted over, the LOTO is all lifted over, and then he sends the approval for the return of the PTW. And in the similar way, the site manager in the web app, he gets the request and he then approves, and then the PTW gets closed. When the PTW gets closed, then the mobile app also, the field engineer is informed and the work is closed. Now, I will talk little about on the supervisor app. So supervisor app, here we are giving the option to the supervisor where he is not dependent only on the web app. So it's a decision on the go. He can see the activities whatever planned in the calendar. So this is actually, if he clicks any sort of date, he can get actually the scheduled maintenance activities. Now he can assign the activities in the mobile app. He can create also any activities required. If something is missed, he can actually, with the clicking of this plus button, he can create the activities and assigns in the mobile app itself. And then these are the activity related stuff. And permit also, in the similar way, he can just click the permit, and he can see the permit different status, and he can approves the permit. So that's where actually we give the ability to the supervisor to take the decisions on the go. So that's pretty much for the mobile apps. We are bringing up some more features which is available in December release. Thank you so much.